everybody and welcome to episode 23 of the Shiny Bees podcast, Knit Your Own Halloween. Today is Friday the 31st of October and coming up in the show today we've got a bit of a chat about guising and the return of the infamous Shiny Bees pattern pick.
I feel a need to laugh again with you, if that's alright. I need a drink.
Hello and welcome back again. Bet you weren't expecting me back so soon, were you? A warm welcome to any new listeners that have joined us this episode. It is going to be a little bit more focused on the fun aspect of things than we normally have, although we do like to have a laugh on this podcast. And a warm welcome back to any returning listeners. It's always great to have you here with me. Again, like I said, I'm back. Quite soon after the last episode, mainly due to the fact that after during recording the last episode, which was quite long because it had an interview in it, I made some comedy gold pattern discoveries and I just could not concentrate on anything else apart from sharing these with you, which is why I've shoehorned in another little kind of bonus episode that's a little bit different from the usual format. Just to fit those in and give you a bit of a laugh around Halloween. It can get a little bit tedious with small children knocking on your door and demanding sweets, spraying you with silly string or doing all kinds of other supposed to be comedy stuff. I'm not sure I find it that funny now that I'm getting on I'm not getting on a bit, but you know what I mean. Clearing up silly string, especially after it's rained, is pretty difficult. And I thought this would cheer you up if you're staying in on this Friday evening. So what about Halloween then? Well, it is a festival, I guess. It's celebrated on the 31st of October every year in several countries around the world, and it is also known as All Halloween, All Hallows Eve and All Saints Eve. It originated as a day which marks the start of All Hallow Tide, which is part of the liturgical calendar, and it's basically a time to remember the dead. It has its roots in Christianity, and some people say it was also influenced by Celtic harvest festivals and pagan ones as well, particularly the Gaelic Samhain festival. Associated with all of this is the practice of children going trick-or-treating, or as it's known locally around here, guising. And guising is basically short for disguise, and that's what they call it in Scotland, and apparently some of Northern England, although I've always called it trick-or-treating. The earliest recorded event of this happening was in 1895, when there were some people who went to homes with turnips with candles in them, and they were rewarded with cakes, fruit and money. Now in Scotland you are supposed to do a proper trick or some kind of entertainment to get your treat, although these days I think people just give you sweeties to get you away from the front door. In Sweden, trick-or-treating actually takes place around Maundy Thursday, so it's nowhere near this time of year at all. Now nowadays, pumpkins seem to be the popular choice, although as I mentioned it did used to be turnips. That was a traditional thing, and that's what I remember having when I was young. I'm not particularly old or anything. I'm only 31, yeah. And I've been here all week. And we did used to have turnips. I think mainly because pumpkins were more expensive and they were certainly more difficult to come by sort of 20 years ago than they are now in supermarkets. You just seem to have them for weeks and weeks beforehand, and afterwards with the supply chains we've got, you can just get hold of them anywhere. The thing to note about turnips is when you put a candle in them and carry them around with you to do your trick-or-treating, they absolutely stink. And they're extremely difficult to carve as well, so you are going to injure yourself in the process of doing this. I have some very strong memories of us trying to find... I used to love trick-or-treating and making my own costumes and stuff to go out, and I have very strong memories of going into Wigan Indoor Market and trying to find a pumpkin, not being able to, and then going to a fruit and veg store, and the guy said, why don't you just use a turnip? And we'd never heard of using turnips till then, but apparently it was quite common. And The guy managed to flog me this turnip for about 20 odd p, or whatever it was at that point, and I took it home and tried to carve it. And it was quite a big one, so I thought, oh, this is going to be quite good because it's quite a big one and it'll look more pumpkin-y. It won't be like one of these sad little turnips that everyone else is going to have. And it was almost impossible to carve it. It was really heavy to carry around. The string kept snapping and it stank, of course. So, yeah, not ideal. These days, though, there seems to be, certainly for the last couple of years, I don't know if it's because my friends are all having children or whether it's like Pinterest gone mental, saw it on Pinterest, nailed it type thing, but there seems to be a phenomenon of competitive carving, as I'm dubbing it, in which people go get their pumpkins and then they like carve some massively elaborate design, you know, the little kind of pointy teeth and triangular eyes are out, and Peppa Pig, full on Nightmare Before Christmas kind of dioramas, Spider-Man, pumpkins being sick, you name it. It's all like fancy pants pumpkins. My pumpkin's carved better than yours. I've done a full on nativity scene on mine, etc. And like I said, I don't know if it's because of the whole Pinterest nailed it thing or whether it's just an increased Americanisation of British culture, but I'm just like, seriously? Just take up some crafting that's going to last longer than like tomorrow night. So I got a massive pumpkin last year, fully intending to competitive craft my way into the competition at the local pumpkin store. And then I was just like, it ended up being like a doorstop for a couple of months before I eventually made pumpkin pie out of it, which is quite nice. But I never did carve it, to be honest. The Beast made a little tea light holder, a little pumpkin one at nursery, so I just use that. I've still got it, actually. I'll put it out tonight. So yeah, if you have any good pictures of competitive carving of pumpkins, share them on the Ravelry thread or send them through, because I just love stuff like that. It's hilarious. So what I thought I would do for you is treat you to a lovely Halloween themed pattern pick, and we'll do that now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, do I ever have a treat for you today? I have no idea what inspired me in particular to put this particular word in Ravelry, or indeed why I've never done it before. No, but I have, and it was pumpkin, somewhat unsurprisingly. What did surprise me, however, is that there are 25 pages of patterns which range from the sublime to the ridiculous to the frankly utterly pointless. As usual, we've got some knitted and crocheted delights for you, both free and paid for patterns. Unfortunately, in this one I won't be featuring the frankly terrifying pumpkin head pattern, which was featured in a previous pattern pick and is modelled on a kind of statue, because it's for yarn bobbing only. And you can hear about that in a previous episode. Now, it was difficult, because it is filled with such comedy gold, to narrow it down to a select few. So there are some brilliant ones that I have had to cut out, unfortunately, because it was just too long. But if you do want to see them for your own self, if you want a bit of entertainment tonight, a bit of a giggle, get yourself onto Ravelry, pop pumpkin in the pattern search engine, and just await the delights that come up. Now, I'm not going to mess about with the usual warm-up that you get, or indeed some nice patterns, because all of those got stripped out as well, because there's not enough room for the comedy ones. And I'm going to smash straight into the pumpkin toilet cover. And yes, you did hear that correctly. The Pumpkin Toilet Cover PA955 by Maggie Weldon. It is a crochet pattern for a toilet cozy, and it retails $7.99 US. This is a seat cover for a toilet. So there's an orange cover that covers the actual flip up and down seat part. Then there's sort of a pumpkin kind of face, sort of cistern doily really, a kind of cover with a witch's hat integrated into that as it goes up onto the top of the cistern. In with that there is a tissue box cover, which somewhat inexplicably is adorned with daffodils, which are not especially seasonal in October, and well, not in this hemisphere at least. And the blurb that goes with the pattern reads thus: most of us enjoy a festive atmosphere in every room of the house during the holidays. Don't forget the bathroom. Toilet covers allow you to add a bit of fun to an often overlooked space, probably because you never spend that long in there. Spruce up your toilet with this wonderful pumpkin toilet cover. Made with worsted weight yarn, these simple covers are the perfect finishing touch. Fits most standard toilets. Skill level, easy. I have no words, really, for that. Quite apart from it being a complete health hazard, granted it probably would be a talking point at the table, but what I'm not really sure how you get to the point where you think, do you know what would be a really good idea? A pattern for a toilet seat cover with an integrated tissue box cover, themed on Halloween pumpkins and somewhat spring-like witches. So, I'm not going to make one. I'm not going to lie to you for my downstairs toilets. Although I was incredibly pleased to see there was not 1, 2, 3 or even 4 toilet roll covers with a pumpkin theme, but 5 toilet paper covers that you can make all around a crocheted or knitted pumpkin theme. Now, much as I would like to run through each of these in explicit detail, because you know I'm a fan of the toilet paper cover, I've picked one for you, and it is the Pick Me, well, I did, pumpkin toilet paper cover by Yarn Tangled Baby. This is a pattern for a crocheted toilet paper cozy. It's done in worsted weight yarn, and it is available to download from Ravelry for $3 US. It's pretty simple, understated, as you might imagine, for a toilet paper cover, and it's basically orange around the main part of the toilet paper cover, toilet paper roll, and on the top it's got a little green sort of stalk, and then a little curly bit, kind of like swizzling around coming off that. Looks a bit like a curly fry, but green, clearly. And again, lovely sort of blurb to go with this. Why does decorating for the holidays have to stop at the bathroom door? Add this pumpkin toilet paper cosy to the top of your toilet and bring a touch of fall to the busiest room in the house. Every time I am at a craft fair, I am asked if I make these. Many people, just like myself, remember visiting their grandparents and seeing holiday toilet paper cozies in the bathroom, or indeed dolls wearing dresses in the wig and mopey colours. It seems to bring back memories. These are so cute you can make several and decorate throughout your house. You know what? I'm kind of tempted to do a year of toilet paper covers. I was going to do a year of indie classics and try and fill my kind of knitted wardrobe with indie classic patterns that I've wanted to do for ages and I've never got round to. And I thought maybe 2015 could be the year of the indie classic. Why don't we just have the year of the toilet paper cover, and we can all make 12 toilet roll covers that'll take us through from beginning to end of the year. I'm sure there are enough patterns out there. In fact, I will do another pattern pick on toilet paper covers for you. I know for a fact there's several Christmas ones, but that's a whole other episode. So yeah, if you fancy upgrading for the Halloween season from your octopus toilet roll cover to a Pick Me pumpkin toilet paper cover, you can indeed do that. If you have 5 toilets in your house, you can have a different pumpkin theme one in every one. Don't say I don't spoil you. Somewhat of a variation on a theme then, but not disappointingly an actual cover for a toilet roll. We have the Polly Pumpkin pattern by Donna Collinsworth, not to be confused with the other 3 Polly Pumpkin named patterns. This is a free pattern for crocheted doll clothes, apparently. And essentially what it is it's a doll with a little green kind of dress on which represents the stalk, and then she seems to have that going out into a kind of pumpkin themed ball gown type affair. But when you look closer at the pictures further down, you'll notice that The pumpkin just seems to form some sort of stand for her to go in. Apparently it is just a little something for the upcoming holidays. Works great for fall harvest celebrations as well as Halloween and Thanksgiving. Nice as a decoration, place card holder or a special little gift. Please, somebody, make me one of these and send it to me. I will treasure it forever. I will put it on my slightly fringe mantelpiece along with the Zulu kind of statuette and the other kind of comedy things that we keep on there. I would absolutely treasure it. Now friends, it's no secret at all, that I'm a huge fan of small dogs in comedy knitwear, and of course, coupled with the toilet roll covers, I also have for you dogs in comedy knitwear. And heading up the charge, shall we say, is the Pumpkin Dog Sweater and Hat even by Sarah Zack, which is a paid for pattern. It's $5.99 US, and it is a pumpkin sweater and hat set for small dogs, £2 to £15. Again, not none for a big dog. Big dogs might want to be a pumpkin too, but they're left out again. It's discrimination, people. It is. You know, all the German Shepherd dogs are sat round somewhere now, dribbling, big teeth, and saying how they wish they had a pumpkin hat in sparkly orange yarn too, because that's what this is made in. It is set at an easy to moderate skill level, but it's definitely not for the beginner. And it is basically sparkle yarn in the I Love This Yarn Hobby Lobby range. Made from orange sparkle yarn, it has a full chest to help your dog be stylish and warm. Plus, this yarn is soft and sturdy. This listing is for a crochet pattern, not an actual item, or indeed the dog. I'm guessing. And yeah, it's a little kind of little hat with a chin strap that you tie under their chin, and little ear holes for the ears, little pointy ears to stick out of. And it's kind of almost like a sort of tam beanie type affair. Orange sparkle yarn with a green little stalk on top. And then the coat is quite long and it goes along the whole back. I'm noticing there's a handy little cutout for under the legs, shall we say, as well. Probably not one that the Shelties are going to be that happy wearing, but if you have a Chihuahua who looks as angry as this one does, then this could be the pattern for you. Moving swiftly straight on from one Hobby Lobby I Love This Yarn to another one, although this one doesn't appear to be sparkly on this occasion. And this one is for the Pumpkin Bum cover and hat set by Colleen Hoke. This is another paid for pattern, somewhat surprisingly, for $1.99 US. This takes in another delightful pet hate of mine that I've been massively on the fence about on several occasions, which is the posing of brand new babies in comedy knitwear. And it's not funny. And when they put you in a home, when you're older, you'll deserve it, frankly. And this one, I still don't really understand. I'll read out the blurb. I designed this pattern to allow the photographer to be able to capture precious newborn facial features without the distraction of features and details that we do desire to have within our photos. Don't do without the accessories, just have them on the bum of the newbie. This set allows the photographer to have it all, other than an understanding of what the hell this woman's on about. The innocence of the basic beanie and the innocent features of the newborn face, with the backdrop of the season's staple, the never-changing pumpkin. Your photographers, Greengross apostrophe, will appreciate this set. I'd appreciate the use of English, frankly. I don't know whether the whole point is to put the hat on the head and then cover the bum up with the other one. Wouldn't that make you look like some kind of weird, very hungry caterpillar, to not have a bum or legs anymore and just have a crocheted orange bum hat? What? Crazy. Just crazy. And for all of those other people who have done those dreadful newborn set things for them to wear, including the one which is a little bag that's a pumpkin with a cat jumping out of it that you put a baby into to photograph them. Just stop it. Please, for the love of all small people everywhere who do not want to have those pictures flashed around at their 18th or 21st birthdays, or indeed any other time after that. Just stop doing it. Put them in a baby grow. Feed them, let them sleep, people. Seriously. Moving swiftly on, we have the entirely more appropriate and probably quite technically difficult to design, I'd imagine. I'm not entirely sure. But yes, the Jack-O-Clava by Anne-Marie Dunbar, which is a knitted pattern for a other headwear. It's a pumpkin balaclava, but it's a 3D one that's been like stuffed with play toy stuffing, so it's got proper like 3D structure and form. It looks quite clever, actually. It's been knitted using stranded knitting and then been stuffed with toy stuffing to make it 3D. The photo is frightening. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm sure she's probably quite pretty underneath there, but you can't see it because it's it's not attractive. But it's funny, and it seems that she's done a couple of other kind of like proper full-on 3D, like balaclava type things, which is worth having a bit of a look at. The pattern is £3, Great British pounds, and it is pretty good, actually. Speaking of stranded knits, I'm surprised good old Anne Kingston hasn't done this one already. The Halloween Vest by Kathleen Taylor. It is a pattern for a Fair Isle Halloween themed vest that comes in both adult and child sizes, it would seem. It's got steeking, it's a V-neck, and it's done in knit picks, basically. It's quite cool. The booklet is out of print, unfortunately, but it's got little rows of different Fair Isle patterns with like cats and pumpkins and ghosts and stuff. I think it'd be quite funny if you had a small child for them to wear it, and it looks reasonably kind of technically challenging, at least. If you want something a little bit simpler, I've chosen one of the plethora of children's hats of various descriptions in the Pumpkin Spice Hat by Ludmila Vena, I think is how it's pronounced. Apologies if I've just butchered your name. It's quite a new pattern, actually. It only came out in August, and it is available for $2.50 US. And it's a little beanie with two enormous pom-poms either side, and the little model that's modelling it is dead cute, sticking a little tongue out, and looks quite pleased with her pom-pom hat. The pom-poms are as big as her head, pretty much. She looks a little bit like the kind of Mickey Mouse baubles they have at Euro Disney, at Christmas. But it's dead cute. I quite like it. I'm a big fan of massive oversized pom-poms on small children. There's also some little booties that come with it as well, so top and bottom will be covered in the pom-pom and pumpkin-y goodness. Other pom-pommy patterns that are less appealing in the headwear department include the little pumpkin head, which frankly just seems to make you look like you've got an elongated head. I think maybe you should go see a doctor if that is the actual shape of your child's head, because it looks a little bit like a kind of one of those cone head alien type affairs. But the other one that caught my eye, mostly because it reminded me of there's a pattern going around for a beanie, and you do it in booby colours, and you put it on your child when you're breastfeeding to kind of give two fingers to anyone who has to give you any beef and tell you shouldn't be breastfeeding in public or what have you. They're quite funny. Well, that pattern appears to have been done in orange and green and turned into the crochet pattern for autumn, fall, Halloween, pumpkins, gourds, squash. It just looks exactly the same to me. It's available for £2, and you can make yourself some pumpkins from that. But if you have a look at the picture, you'll see exactly what I mean on that one. Just a couple more to go now, and I do feel that the crocheters amongst the Ravellers definitely have the sense of humour when it comes to designing patterns. I just don't think they take themselves anywhere nearly as seriously as the knitters do, it would seem. I was just a bit perplexed, I'm not going to lie. It's the Mr. Pumpkin Man Rattle by Donna Collinsworth. It's a free pattern. There's only one project of this been recorded on Ravelry, and there's probably a good reason for that. It's a rattle for a baby with a really scary pumpkin face on it. Not the first thing I think of when looking for a design to make a baby's rattle, I'm not going to lie to you. I can see its merits, but not as a rattle, to be honest. So if you've got a slightly kooky baby and you think they'll appreciate that, then give it a try. The parents can only throw it out, I guess. Back to the knitting with one of, again, a plethora of scary patterns to dress your dolls in. This one is called The American Girl Pumpkin Girl by Lorraine Jordan. It is a paid for pattern. It's $3.99 US, and it is a pattern for an American Girl doll pumpkin costume, and it includes the costume, hat and spider trick or treat bag. Scary. The doll is stood there with two arms up as if to say, pick me up, and I just think I want to run away. It reminds me of Chucky. And there are several other patterns for dolls, both kind of doll looking and the kind of slightly creepy reborn dolls, which just, I find them really scary. I know it's irrational, but I really do find them frightening. And I think we will finally wrap up with possibly the most pointless pattern that I found during this search. And this, I don't know if it's some kind of affront to cruelty against pumpkins or what, but basically it is a pattern, or rather 3 patterns in one, for Halloween Pumpkin Wraps and Cozy by Kathy Karen. It is free. Good job, really. And basically, happy Halloween. Outfit your favourite pumpkins in 3 designs for wraps and cozies: a classic Jack's Lantern wrap, a kitty rat, or a collegiate black and orange cozy. Enjoy. Boo! I can't think of anything more pointless than knitting a pumpkin jack-o'-lantern themed pumpkin cozy for a pumpkin. Just carve it. Does it need to keep warm? I just don't understand it. Although I must say the cat one / Batman one, and they've drawn some eyes in, it's pretty funny. But I was just like, it's almost as pointless as the pumpkin jar cover and the pumpkin vase cover. But obviously not the toilet roll cover, because that is a valid need. So that will conclude the pattern pick for this episode. If you want to have a look at those, I'm going to start putting them on Pinterest on little pattern pick boards, so you can have a look on there and see them all a bit easier, because otherwise on Ravelry you have to click in and out. I will still put this in a Ravelry set, and it will be in my queue. So again, the algorithm's going to go absolutely mental on this. I'm going to get loads of toilet roll covers. It's going to be brilliant. And if you go into my queue and go into the little tab that says pumpkin on it, you'll find them all in there. Please, 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 please send me the pictures that you do of your toilet roll cozies. I think it's hilarious. As always, if you do find any comedy patterns, and I do have some stored up from people that have sent me them, please send them through, because I just find it so funny, and it's just something that I really enjoy. And if I can find enough of them to make a pattern pick out of based around that theme, then I certainly will. And of course I will give you the entire credit for it. So without further ado, then we'll go on to the next section. Difficult to see how I can follow that up really with something kind of serious now that I'm crocheting my toilet roll cover. But I will, some quick reminders. First of all, there's still time to enter the giveaway Sock Palooza, sponsored by Claire Devine of Yarn and Pointy Sticks and Jess of Ginger Twist Studios, to win a sock blocker, copy of Head to Toe, the current book, and some Humming Aran yarn. Details of how you can enter that are in the thread for episode 22, and also on the show notes on the blog for episode 22. So don't miss out, because it's only another week to enter that, and it's a great prize. Other things that I need to do and forgot last time, very sorry, is to wish D-Bex a very happy wedding. I understand from my spies in Dundee that she recently went on her honeymoon. She got married, went on her honeymoon, and basically did a tour of all the yarn shops in Scotland that I've reviewed, including Fluff. So huge congratulations to you, and I hope you enjoyed your visit. I understand from Leona and obviously from you as well that you did. And I think that's all we've got time for this little quick bonus episode that I've thrown in for you. Normal service will resume next week, and there will be the intro of the new section, the Sunday sock surgery, and also some rundown of news and reviews. I have a couple of things, a yarn shop review, and there'll be a yarn review from Blacker Yarns. So, without further ado, isn't it? So, have a great week, happy crafting, hope the trick-or-treaters don't bug you too much, get your toilet roll cozies on the go, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye! Thank you for listening to the Shiny Bees podcast. Show notes for this episode can be found on the blog at www.shinybees.com. Music used in this episode is by Adam and the Walter Boys, and it's I Need a Drink, available by Music Alley.
That's alright. I feel a need to laugh again with you, if that's alright.